And most people can't do that. Like when they go to buy something or they want something, they go there and they're like, "Oh, I want it no matter what." And then the person's trying to, get them to come up on price, and you need to learn to walk away. And
My name is Kevin McIntosh, and this is The Closing Table, where we talk to experts about their experience in real estate all across the country. Let's go. All right, welcome to the Closing Table podcast. My name and your host, I am Kevin McIntosh, and joining us, pulling up a chair to the closing table, we have the honor of speaking with Tina Scarbrough. How you doing, Tina?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Hey, thank you for being here, taking out time of your very busy day when you could be out there making these deals. I'm here to take us some time and get some of that education from you, share with our audience. Now, before we really get into the busy part of it, let's start off with a quick, fun game icebreaker I like to call word association, Tina. It's exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to throw out a word associated with real estate, and you just give me your first reaction to that, whether that's a definition, a story, whatever the case may be. You ready?
Yep.
Let's shoot. First one, foreclosure.
Problems.
That's fair. Next one, MLS, multiple listing service.
All properties.
Okay. Purchase agreement.
Contract.
HELOC, home equity line of credit.
Buy investment property.
I like that one. Last one, deed.
Deed. You own it.
Well put. Thank you, Tina. Starting things off a little bit fun with us. So, Tina, I want you to take time, 60 seconds or less, to tell me and our audience, who is Tina outside of real estate?
I am a mom, a grandma. I'm a dog mom. I got 2 doggies, 2 miniature schnauzers. They're my favorites. I spend a lot of time outside. I ride bikes. I kayak. I just like to be outside.
Nice. I know you're happy that the summer is approaching and everything. Do you enjoy the outside even in the winter too?
Well, yeah, because I'm in Florida.
Oh, so
yeah.
jealous. Oh, look
Right?
at you. Sunshine.
Yeah, actually, I like it better in the winter here.
Oh my God, it's probably a lot cooler. You can tolerate it a lot more. Okay,
Yeah.
So with that being said, Tina, you're in Florida. Why don't you take some time for our audience and myself? Why don't you describe the current market that you serve geographically more than anything, the location, surrounding areas, notable landmarks, attractions, etc.
Okay, I service Brevard County and Indian River County, which is the Space Coast. We're on the east coast of Florida. What's by us is NASA, Space Center, hour from
Wow.
Disney. Yeah, we have Ron John Surf Shop, Cocoa Beach, Indian Atlantic, Melbourne Beach. We have a lot of great beaches and affordable living here.
Wow. Now, Tina, I gotta kind of play devil's advocate on that. You say affordable living. Now, is this affordable compared to what's in Florida, or is this compared to other markets in the United States?
I would say comparative to the West Coast in Florida. It's substantially reasonable. I mean, and Miami, it's much more affordable than Miami and not as crowded.
Okay. Now, that area that you're in, is that just as much of a tourist town as, Orlando or Miami or things of that nature, or is it a little bit less traffic?
A little bit less traffic, but people like to come here and stay over here and then drive the 45 minutes to Disney to stay out of that.
I bet. Man, the thing that you said NASA is there too? That is interesting. Wow.
Yeah, we also have Blue Origin here as well. And the Patrick.
I have no idea what that is.
Blue
What's
Origin
that?
is the rocket ship company that Elon Musk is behind.
Really? Oh, it's SpaceX.
Yeah, SpaceX is here too, yes. Yeah.
Nice. Oh man, lucky town. Okay, a lot of things to see. Okay, so Tina, when we're talking about business and things that you do in regards to managing clients, how many clients do you manage at one time maybe on average?
On average, I like to stay between 4 and 5, because
Mm,
as an agent, that's respectively how you can take care of them well.
right.
Anything more than that, if you're not using a transaction coordinator, that's something that if you're a real estate agent, you have to have a transaction coordinator. Cannot live
Mm,
without one. Anything above
mm,
5, you're not going to be able to manage the paperwork without one in a
mm. And
month's
what is the
time. If that's what you're saying, like if you're
okay within
running 4 to 5 a month.
got you, got you. Okay, so what would be the role of your? Did you say transaction coordinator? What's their role?
Yes. So once we get a transaction coordinator actually follows the paperwork from contract to close. So she's
Mm-hmm.
in other words, the paper chaser. So instead of me
Mm,
having to get the addendum to get it signed and all that, she handles all that. So it makes it
mm,
much easier as an agent to be out doing what you do best is sales, because as we know, the best salespeople are not the best paper people. They're not the
good
best
point.
organized because they're people persons and they need to be out in front of
Right.
people.
Right. Okay. So is that essentially where the majority of your priorities are when once your transaction coordinator is handling the paperwork, you're really focused on getting those leads, maintaining your
Yes.
clients and getting their home.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So
Good.
once I
Good.
have a contract, I'm still in tight focus with the client,
Mhm.
but I also want to make sure that I'm out getting more clients because in 30
For
days,
sure.
those clients are gone.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, I get it now. So let's say you're in a situation you have your 5 or 6 clients within your month, right? But then
Mhm.
two other people come out of nowhere. Oh, we really need your help. We want to sell our home or something like that. So this will bring your number to 7, 8 clients. How are you remedying that problem right there?
So I run a team. My team is actually a
Mm,
short to
mm,
short group. So then I move those clients over to one of my team members and to make sure I'm selective and who gets that lead versus who doesn't. Make sure that they fit the personality. Now, if they're past clients, then I make sure I'm handling them. I don't
got
I
you.
don't move my
Got you.
past clients onto other agents.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I see it. Okay. Okay. There you go. Thanks for painting that picture. So, this is a question I like to ask most agents just to see where their mind is. You're obviously licensed in the entire state of Florida, correct?
Mhm, mhm.
But you do have a
Yes.
specific market within Florida that you generally serve. So, do you feel like it's better for either yourself or agents in general to serve one specific market within that state or serve the entire state that you're licensed in?
I feel like you should stay in the area that you know
Mm,
because 3 hours away, you don't know that market. You should refer if a person wants to go 3 hours away, you should refer that client to someone that's skilled in that area, in that location. I
okay.
don't feel that you should be running over to another area in the state not knowing that market at all. So
Got you.
I like to
Yeah.
stay where I know and I refer out to a great agent in that area if that happens.
Yeah. I love to ask agents that question. I've been asking as of recently because I like to see where, where people's mind is in regards to that. I'm not gonna say you'd be surprised, but to each his own, some agents literally like, I'm
Right,
doing the entire state. I'm going there, I'm going
right.
north, west, south, east. I'm doing it all. I don't mind driving. But I understand that because I mean technically you're licensed in the entire state. Why not
Right.
play with the entire playground? But then I get it because I mean, if you're in an area that you literally know, you know the people, you know the homes, you know the areas, you're staying up to date, concentrating in that area, it will make you more of
Yeah.
an expert. Are
I
are
sometimes
you are
think
you?
that you're doing a disservice to go out of your
Mm,
area.
I agree.
Because if you don't know the market, how can you actually help a person buy a home with a great decision if you don't know
Hmm.
what that market is doing?
Correct. If you don't know much about that neighborhood either. With
Yeah.
that being said,
I mean,
so
sure, you
are
can
you?
go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say that you can look up and do a CMA, but the reality is that you don't know that market. They could still be
True.
getting 50, 80, 100,000 more then the property should be worth because of the crazy market that we just came out of.
That's a whole fact. Are you originally from that area also, born and raised?
No, I was born and raised in Michigan.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. Well, you went how long have you been in Florida?
I've been in Florida since 2014.
Okay. And are you by any chance dual license? Are you in licensed in Michigan also?
I am not, but my sister owns a brokerage in Michigan.
Ah, there's your connection right there. How do you feel about having a dual license? Two states.
I think if you're living half in one and half in the other, yeah, why not?
Right. That I've the few agents I've talked to who are servicing those areas in the states that are like borderline to like Ohio, Michigan,
Yeah,
or
that's a good idea.
California, Washington. Yeah, that is the response I've been getting. So that makes sense completely. Okay.
Yeah,
Buyer's
North
market.
Carolina, South Carolina, you'd be within 15 minutes in two different
cor-
states for sure. I
Correct.
do that.
It makes sense. It makes
Yeah.
sense. So we're currently the consensus is saying that we're in a seller's market where you have low inventory of homes and the sellers
Mhm.
basically have the advantage. What factors determine whether or not we are in a buyer's market or seller's market or a neutral market based on your expertise?
Well, absorption rate. I mean, we only two
Okay.
months. We're only 2 months where we're at right now. We're definitely still in a seller's
Mm,
market. But we're also
mm.
seeing the flux of now that the homes are getting back to reality of pricing. Because as we saw last year, people were paying $100,000 over asking price with no
Sheesh.
contingencies and no inspections. We saw
This
that
is true.
crazy a year ago. We are
Mm,
not seeing that
mm.
anymore.
Mm. From the sound of it, it sounds like you're almost starting to see a flip a little bit, or do you see like it turning into a
We
buyer's
are
market?
see I don't see a buyer's market yet. I see a neutral
Okay.
market. I see that
Mm.
prices are coming down to reality. There's more homes coming on the market, but there's so many people that bought a couple years ago that have a 2.5 or 2.6 interest rate.
Oh
They feel
yeah. Oh
trapped in their
yeah.
house.
I'm never
They feel
leaving.
trapped because they're like, okay, I can get the equity out of this, but am I
Mm-hmm.
actually going to make a difference when I go find something they can't replace, in other words, in our area?
Correct.
They wouldn't be upgrading.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean the quality of homes are harder to find, like good quality homes. And then on top of that, like, are you gonna get the same financial deal that you got when you got that 3% interest rate?
You're not. You're
You're
not.
not. Exactly, you're not.
No matter
A
what, you're
quote
not. But
that right. Please.
but luckily in our market, we're a destination location. So people are moving
Mm,
to Florida in
mm,
droves still. They want to be
mm.
here or they have to be here because there's a lot of job openings for
Okay.
space and for engineering in Melbourne. So that a lot
Mm.
of people are coming here for jobs.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It makes sense. I mean, you're in that town, especially for engineers specifically,
Yep.
being in that area. Are you seeing more people moving in than moving out of Florida and in your market?
Yes. Yes.
Really?
And we have for the past 3 years.
I can't remember. I would have to think back to another episode. I think another agent told me something different from their perspective.
Mm.
Obviously,
Well,
it's going to be
maybe
different with different perspectives and markets,
right.
but I
If
would
it
think
was a
that more people
big
would move to
metropolis,
Florida, though.
they're moving from here. Like people from Miami are coming
Ah,
here.
okay.
So that
I
very
could
well may
definitely
be
see that.
true that they
Mm-hmm.
are seeing an outflux because people are tired of
That's a whole point.
the
That's a whole
traffic,
fact.
the
Okay.
crime.
Yeah. Okay.
This
Okay.
still seems like small town comparative.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great perspective. Tina, there's a quote that I got from you. You said this. You said, quote, it's all about having your own business and what you put into it, end quote. I want you
Yeah.
to take this time to explain how real estate is the purest form of entrepreneurship.
Well, I would say real estate has no ceiling. You are going to get exactly what you put in. And
Mm,
if you hustle and you work and you answer the phone and you talk to people and you treat people accordingly, the sky's the limit. You could make more than thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands.
mm, yeah, yeah,
I mean, people don't
yeah.
understand that, we give a service. You should not discount yourself. You're
That's a
worth your
fact.
service if you're doing a great job. If you're not doing a
That's
good
a
job,
fact.
then that's another story. But I think that I think personally that I've ran a team, I've owned the brokerage, I've done things that most people would say can't be done from where I came from.
mm,
And
mm,
it's all about you and your hustle and your drive and what you want in life. And real estate can give you all those things.
mm.
I would
Yeah.
recommend it to anyone that wants to work. If you don't want to work, do not get into real estate.
Now that I can agree with, but mainly because, and I've always been on the fence with this thought, but a lot of people feel like, or I've heard people say they feel like everyone should have a sales job at one point in their life
You
because it
should.
teaches you that hustle. It teaches you how to talk to people. It teaches you to be a little bit more outgoing. And just like you said, the only position period that you can really have no ceiling on what you can make is a sales job, other than just being an entrepreneur. But like just being in sales, like you have no limit as to how much you can make. So I love that aspect of it. But when I'm being honest, for me personally, I get like I, I love to talk to people, but I just cannot like talk to people to almost like beg them to buy something. Like, and not to say that that's what real estate is, but that's what I feel
Yeah.
like sales is. So it takes a different type of person, if you ask me. But I don't
Yeah.
think I'm built for that. So I always got to give my respect to top producing agents like yourself.
Oh, thanks. I think it's one thing to just learn how to become a chameleon and talk to all personalities. That's the biggest
Mm,
hurdle in this job is you need to
mm,
know what type of personality you're working with when you meet them. So when you
yeah.
meet them, that's your goal. Like the first meetup is not to sell them a house, is not to write the contract immediately. I mean, if that happens, wonderful. But I always go in and try to figure out what type of personality I'm working with so then I can adjust accordingly. And then I'm their agent. Period. They won't use anyone else
Yeah.
because I'm connecting with them on their personality level.
Mm. That brings an interesting thought to my brain, Tina. You have a real estate team that you work with. How are you ensuring that your everyone on your team is having that same mentality that you have?
Trainings. We do
Okay.
trainings every month. Also, there
Mm.
is one particular training that discusses personalities and how to work with
Really?
them. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Mm.
They have a trainer, Tina Valiant, comes in and does that training for us. She'll be in June to do it for our team again
Gotcha. Mm.
because it's
Interesting.
important.
Interesting.
You have no idea. Like if you go in and you're talking to an engineer and you're just acting bubbly and funny, he's not going to like you. He's just going to be like, okay, I just want the facts,
All
Dan.
right. Give me the numbers and leave.
Right. You laugh, but it's true.
No, that's real. That's true. What's the hardest part about maintaining a bunch of these personalities in this business on your
um,
team?
I think the hardest part is realizing it's not you. Like
Mm,
if something comes across and they're either upset or concerned or whatever, you can't take everything personally. It's not you. It's just how people react to situations. And that is a struggle. It's hard with that because
yeah,
as the boss, you want everybody to love you. May not always be the case.
man, that was deep. That was
Yeah,
deep. Cause I get it.
I
I
struggle
get it.
with it.
Usually,
I do.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, almost on if we're being completely honest. See, now you got me being honest, Tina. If we're being completely honest, on a lot of the teams or jobs that you'll work with, usually like maybe the employees would start a group chat and they're usually talking about things that they might like, dislike with the boss and things of that nature. And you really don't necessarily want that. You want to build that relationship with them, but it's
Yep.
always kind of like that little line and that divide there too. That kind of makes it a little awkward. So
It's a true
I
story.
get that.
It's a true
Mm-hmm.
story because not all are going to love you or want to be your bestie, or you're not going to
Oh
want to be
yeah.
all of their besties.
Mm-hmm.
It's a struggle because I personally want everyone to like me, but they're not all going to like me. And they may not stay with me. They may go to someone else, and I
Mm,
have to be
mm,
okay with that. Like
mm.
that's part of the industry that not every shoe fits Cinderella, you know.
That's a fact. Yeah. Oh, no lie there. No lie there. All right, so Tina, so why don't you share with us an inspiring, motivating book, movie, quote, or just a philosophy or any other content that you've consumed that you feel like may have changed your life for the better?
Okay, I think one of the biggest books was Never Split the Difference. I don't know if you've
I've heard of
ever
that.
read,
Okay.
but it's really good about negotiating. And
Okay.
the guy that writes it is a hostage negotiator. So he speaks to, how you've probably heard it that, when you're negotiating, the first person that talks loses, after you
Really?
put your offer out there, usually. Yeah, because they're caving.
Mm.
So I
Good
think that
game
was
here.
a huge eye opener. Yeah, for me for negotiating. My father was in
Okay.
sales when we were children our whole life. So he taught me always be able to walk away, and that's
Mm.
huge. And most people can't do that. Like when they go to buy something or they want something, they go there and they're like, "Oh, I want it no matter what." And then the person's trying to, get them to come up on price, and you need to learn to walk away. And I can remember one situation. We went to buy a motorcycle together. My dad had the money, told the guy, and the guy said, "Oh, well, I have someone else coming later." And my dad said, "No, I have the money now."
Right.
And the guy said, "Well, I really want that other guy to see it." And my dad said, "Okay, well, then you're not taking my money." And he turned
Facts.
around and
Oh my
walked away.
goodness.
And most people
Yeah.
can't do that. And my
Yeah.
husband to
Yeah.
this day says, "Man, I can't believe you can just walk when someone won't give you what you want and then you get it." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Because you have to be able to walk away. But in some instances
Mm-hmm.
you don't too. He walked, that guy called him for months and he told him no.
Mm.
Told him no.
Your
Said
dad, your dad told him no after that? After he
mhm. Yeah. Yeah,
he
because he
wasn't
said, "I
playing.
had my money there. I told you then that was my money and you
Yeah.
didn't take it." So no.
I love that, man. Oh my God. Can we
Yeah.
clap? I love that. I'm partially that way too. I feel the
Yeah.
same way. Don't waste my time.
Right.
Don't like, you know what we're here for. Let's get it taken care of. You want to play games? Cool. You play games, somebody else. I'm going this away. I
Yep.
love that. I
Yes.
love that.
Yes.
But the first person that talks, you said
Loses.
after the deal or during the
Yeah, once
deal?
once you offer up your deal, say
Mm-hmm.
nothing. Especially if you're communicating on the phone, say nothing. Make it awkwardly silent.
I love that. I'm taking that to home
Think
with my
about it. Think
girlfriend
about
and
it. You
everything.
just be
I'm
like,
using that tactic against my mom too.
"Yeah, your mom." I loved it.
I'm using it
Tell
against
me how that
everybody.
goes.
Well, thank you so much, Tina. We
Of
appreciate you
course.
for being a guest here on the closing table. Right now, if you have any last words and or want to tell the people how they can reach out to you, please do so now.
Okay, you can reach us at Shore to Shore Group, powered by LPT. You can find us on Google. You can also call our number, which is 321-290-6733, or shore2shorerealty.com.
Perfecto. Thank you again, Tina, for being
Thank
here, pulling
you.
up a chair to the closing table. For our YouTube audience watching right now, if you got to this point in the video, it is your time to hit the like button, please and thank you. Also, make sure you share the content and subscribe to our channel. And if you are listening on Apple, Spotify, any other podcast platforms, please do the same. Give us a like, 5-star rating, and subscribe for our latest content. Tina, I always like to leave our audience with a question before we leave to get them thinking. Hey, audience, did you ever feel like your agent didn't give you the attention that you needed? Give us some examples in the comments below. Besides that, we'll talk to you next time.